in the last block, I hit 180 for 5. In the back squat this week, I only hit 3. The same with the snatch. You know, I thought I probably was going to be capable of 95 or 100 for a double, and I got 95 for a single. It's hard because you can't really control the bad weeks. If you have a bad week, it doesn't take away from the goal at the end of the day, but sometimes you just have bad weeks. No one's disappointed with the effort that I put in, except for me. Hey Siri, how many days until the 6th of June 2021?
I'm on it. It's 226 days until then.
226 days. I've been looking forward to this block for a while, to be honest. Like, back into the gym doing full range of motion. So just before Virtual Track Nationals, we weren't doing full depth squat, partial rep, leg press, just things that are very cycling specific, which is not something that I'm used to doing. My background in Olympic weightlifting is something I love. You know, it's sort of half the reason I went to track cycling is because there was still a gym component involved in the cycling. I love Olympic weightlifting. I love the feeling of hitting a good lift. You know, if anyone's ever done Olympic weightlifting, you'll know, like, when you hit a good snatch, you know, there's not many feelings out there quite like that. So being able to do that here in the gym is awesome. I love it. You know, sometimes you're having a bad week, being able to come into the gym and just go through the weights, it's nearly a reset for me. You know, get to come in here, reset, move some weight, normally feel good about myself, which is probably another reason why this week's been so hard. I've probably underperformed in my own mind, not hitting the expectations that I have on myself. You know, a little bit of less weight in the back squat, didn't quite have the strength to hold the technique in the snatch, and had a miss at 95 there. But because I'm a cyclist now, not an Olympic weightlifter, you know, I'm lifting weights to make me better at cycling, not lifting weights, right? That's sort of a hard transition for me to make. So in my head, I was like, oh, sweet, the cycling's out of the way, I can go back to lifting weights. But in reality, you know, all the partial rep stuff did make me so much better at cycling. You know, it was super important, and I would do it every time and again. But now we go back to the full range of motion. You know, my back squat has lost a little bit of shine. You know, it's not as strong as it was before, and that's a little bit depressing. You know, it's one of those things that I look forward to, is coming in and doing some heavy back squat. Come in and my expectations were up here, and I was stuffing around down here this week, you know. So, you know, when you really look forward to something and it gets taken away from you, that's a little bit depressing. You know, a hard week like this at the end of a block means that next week is a Rico week, which means that I'll get one less day on the bike all week. You know, Betsy does a good job of flogging me into the ground, so I'm sure he'll keep that up. And then looking forward, it's just about putting this block behind me and looking forward. So luckily for me, with that background in Olympic weightlifting, this speed and power stuff comes back really quickly. Bad week's part of training. You know, you have a bad week, you put it behind you, you move forward. Next week's a rest week, so even though in my mind this was a bad week, we still made progress. Definitely still improved in strength, which is, you know, gonna bear fruit next week and the rest week. We'll come back in 2 weeks' time and I'll definitely be stronger, faster, and more powerful.